The climate is changing, and so should we. Climate Fact File, your weekly dose of awareness, action, and answers. Wednesday, 11 a.m. on your favorite radio station, People's 105.5 FM, Abuja.
Hello and welcome to Climate Fact File, your go-to program for clear insights and actionable solutions on climate change and its impact on our world. I am Ife Onyekwere, your host and guide on this journey to understanding the challenges we face and the opportunities we have to create a sustainable future. So together we'll be unpacking some of the issues we have before us today. And today is actually a very special edition because it's still the season where we're celebrating women and for the International Women's Day. And for this course, I'll be having two guests have this conversation around accelerating action because the theme for the International Women's Day 2025 is tagged Accelerating Action. So we're discussing women leading the charge, accelerating climate action for a sustainable future. And you can also join us for this conversation because at the point I'm going to open the phone lines for you. If there is one woman you really want to celebrate who is actually accelerating action towards sustainable development, either in the agricultural space, in the energy space, in the waste space, someone who is doing something amazing out there for a very great planet. There is someone, who is doing something great, I believe, who is actually putting in effort to ensure that we have a cleaner and more great environment, and also ensuring that our climate is actually safe for us and for the future generation, right? So this is an opportunity for you to celebrate this set of women today, right? So I would actually be having two guests here. We'll have Rifkatu Joseph Odeyemi, who works around circular economy, and interestingly, she's actually the author of a faith-based book on circular economy. Did you actually get that? A faith-based book on circular economy. Now, this is not going to be restricted to those of us who feel when we mention anything that has to do with climate change, circular economy, we're talking about only people in the official space. So even down to the religious setting, it is time for us to hear that other side of it. Yeah. So we're having her in the studio here, and she's going to be giving us, her journey around this, and opening us up to how she's also accelerating action for a sustainable future. And we're also going to have Uzo Chukudima Awele Otakbo, who is actually a multi-skilled accountant, and she is an SDG advocate. And interestingly, she's actually leading an environmental sustainability project at the IDP camp in Abuja. These are women who are really putting so much effort to ensure that we have a sustainable environment. I think they deserve an applaud, if you ask me. And we're not taking this for granted. That's why we're going to allow you also celebrate that special woman who is doing so much around sustainable development. So we'll go on a break right now. When we'll come back, we'll continue this conversation.
Your guide to the science, stories, and solutions of climate change. Join Climate Fact File and be part of the change. Every Wednesday from 11 a.m. on the People's 105.5 FM, Abuja. Your guide to the science, stories, and solutions of climate change. Join Climate Fact File and be part of the change. Every Wednesday from 11 a.m. on the People's 105.5 FM, Abuja.
All right, you're still listening to Climate Fact File here on People's 105.5 FM, and we're discussing women leading the charge, accelerating action Accelerating Climate Action for a Sustainable Future. And I introduced our guest before we went on that break, and I think it's time to hear their voices right now. So let me start from Rivka to Joseph Odeyemi. How are you doing today?
Good morning, Ify. I'm doing very well.
Yeah, thank you for coming here today. And we're actually excited to get to hear about this faith-based, dimension of climate action and
nice.
all.
Thank
Amazing.
you.
And to our accountant, who is also an SDG advocate, currently leading environmental sustainability project at the IDP camp in Abuja. How are you doing today?
I'm fine. Good morning, Abuja.
Good morning. Great to have you in the studio. All right. So right now we're going to be taking the impactful news around climate change. All right. So that's it on countdown around news on climate change. And I know that my women here in the studio have something to contribute. So who's going first?
Okay, I can go first.
All right.
Yes, your news headlines are very interesting, I must say, and it brings us back down to the issue we are talking about. I was particularly very interested in the agric waste and then the EU waste export. I think both of them are truly like my core circular economy stuff. So it was very interesting. I was like, we are looking for ways to deal with our own waste. What is this EU saying? Like, what's happening? I need to go and really read about this thing so I will know exactly, because this is just like a headline. So I think from here I'll read it to be sure what exactly they are saying, because I don't even want to start assuming. Like, what are we doing with our own waste that we want to bring in more waste? Do you understand? And then where do we have to keep them? We are still looking for lands and for agriculture and other things. Can you imagine? Anyway, to the next. I think I really can take it up. Let me not finish.
Well, it's not about finishing it. Like you said, where are we going to put the waste that we have already, the waste that we are currently trying to do with? I think there's been some kind of agreement, or there's something that the government has gone into. I think where we got where she's reading from, I think I also saw something like that in Guardian. It says that there's pursuant to Article 42 of Regulation 2024/1157 of shipment of waste from the EU after 21st of May 2027. So it goes to ask, in this regard, is Nigeria ready to receive waste stream categories such as refuse-derived fuel, paper waste, textile waste, rags, and fly ash? I really don't know, because like she just said, we have so much waste right now in Nigeria, in the FCT, for instance, and we are trying to deal with it. Why should we import waste from another country? What's going to happen to that? I would also like to respond to the agro waste holding economic value. It's a very good one to see that it's being discussed right now. Part of the program that I'm currently involved in has to do with agro waste, and it would be nice to see that people are talking about it. How we can generate income from agro waste, selling compost, biofuel production, value-added products. It goes a long way, and I think it's going to help everybody. Are we even looking into carbon credits right now? Do we know that that's the way we can? Yes, carbon credits. Farmers can earn carbon credits by reducing greenhouse gas emissions through agro waste utilization. So it's a win for everybody, which can be sold to carbon markets.
Great. If you're listening to us, actually, we've not started the show yet, and we're just touching the surface of the news around climate change. We're actually discussing women leading the charge, accelerating climate action for a sustainable future. And like I told you, the guest I have right here with me are actually doing so much around climate action, and I bet you want to hear them say this. And if you're listening and you're wondering how can I also go into this space, I think I really want to do something around this. I think you are at the best place right now. This is People's 105.5 FM. We're going to go on a break right now. We're going to listen to Good Woman, because we have good good women in the studio here. And when we're right back, we'll continue this conversation. Well, I know I stopped you from dancing. Sorry about that. All right, this is People's 105.5 FM, and we are discussing women leading the charge, accelerating climate action for a sustainable future. All right, and we have our guest in the studio. I want to ask us, to share what inspired us, to take, the role in leading the charge around climate action. Let me start from you, Rifkatu. Share with us, how did this begin? We're celebrating women, and first of all, before we celebrate any other woman today, you are the first person, both of you are the first people we are celebrating. So tell us, how did this journey begin for you?
Okay, this journey has been very wonderful, and it actually began like a joke. I've been doing a couple of work and activity, and then some issues here and there, and I was like, wait, is this now so we go the day? Like, is this the impact I plan to leave behind in the world? What can I do? What value can I add? What will I be remembered for? Do you understand? Like, something beyond yourself, something that is bigger than you, is really not about you. It's about doing something that posterity will look back and say, this person was here some time ago. And that was how it started for me. I was like, okay, what small thing can I do? I can go to schools and start teaching children. Teaching them what? That's the next question. And then environment. Yes, we really need to do much more, because it's very easy for us to sit down and say the government are not taking care of the waste, the waste you are generating. Do you understand?
Exactly.
Like, what are you doing about it? Okay, let's even start from there. So it was just about, going to teach children, and I was planning to be doing my virtual assistant job by the side, and my other small businesses, the other stand to put body and soul together. But that was how it started. So I go to schools some days I'm doing something, because going there, I need money to be able to sustain that project. So that was how it basically started for me. And then I just put my head and my whole life into it. And funny enough, right now, that's the only thing I do. I've left every other thing to just focus on this particular thing.
Amazing. So how was it for you, Uzochukwu? Was your story similar, or how did you get here?
I think mine was from a place of finding purpose, providing value to people. My journey in development began with the goal of making a positive impact on the society. Someone who likes to proffer solutions. Yes, we can keep complaining about the problem we're seeing, but in your own space, like she said, what are you doing? How are you contributing to that problem you are seeing? What solutions are you creating? So my own knowledge was built from different range of topics. My background, like I said before, my community, growing up and seeing the government enacting policies about environmental sanitation, which used to be done before. So growing up, I started picking on that. Growing up, staying on your own, moving on. What value do you want to bring in? Started growing, understanding development challenges. I started pushing myself to learn. I'm currently doing a program at the SPPG, School of Policy and Politics and Development. I'm learning more. I'm understanding data, the importance of sustainable development. So it all comes from a place of building value. And then now, as you're growing, you want to grow more. You want to do more. You want to add more value to yourself and have a greater impact, not just on yourself, but your environment and your society at large.
Great. So, apparently, there's something similar about both of you. I think purpose. Because if you look at it from both angles, So I wanted to share an experience of your key project, any of your key project that has actually been the highlights for you in this journey to accelerating action. Let's start from you now.
Okay.
Yeah. So just any of your projects that probably has it has stood out for you as someone doing what you're doing, accelerating action, what key project would you say this has actually, you looked at it and then you're like, I'm proud of myself,
For me, that will be the goal for quality education of the SDG. I built, I partnered with other organizations. I brought them on board, and then we built a library/educational center for one of the IDP camps in Abuja.
All right.
That was April 2022, and I am so happy speaking here today.
Great.
This is March 2025. The library is still up and running.
Amazing.
And it has been handed over to a free elementary school in the IDP camp that the children use to engage in their learning. So it serves as a library, it serves as an educational center. You talked about a project I'm doing for the women. So I'm currently engaged in an environmental sustainability project with about 15 to 13 women in the camp. And it's that same space we are using to engage the women every Saturday for the past 5 weeks. I think we've even gone more than 6 weeks now. But for me, that stands out as something that I have done and I am very, very, very proud of.
Amazing. I think we need to give it up for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Partnership for the goals.
That's right. Great. So we'd love to hear from you too. What has stood out for you in this journey? Because it might be, there's one thing I believe. It's easy to actually have conversations like this, but the work that actually goes behind it, it's a whole lot. Even me, myself, who come here to have programs or talking, the research I do, coming up with topics and all like that, the back end is always so much compared to, because I believe if you want to even go to a school or you want to go to people to pass knowledge, you have to be well structured.
Exactly.
Right? So it's not just, you see the way she sat there and she just gave hers but I'm sure if we see the pictures behind,
oh no, you do not want to see me carrying iron on my head,
right?
Coming down from a truck.
You can imagine.
And then my dad saw the picture and says, "Oh my God, my daughter, you're a girl, not a boy." And now I've gone as far as like 2 weeks ago, we built a compost bin, and I was with nail and hammers, and
this fine girl, so I because I always want to look at, when people are talking, there is the sacrifice behind it, and that's why we're celebrating this.
Exactly.
So we want to know from you right now, Rifkatu, what special moment would you look back at and say, with this work I've done, I'm proud of myself?
Oh, nice. As much as I do not want to belittle any effort,
that's right,
because the truth of the matter is that it is eternity that will speak about what you have done, and then you might sit back and don't feel like you did something and it's not that, but it is that one that you consider little.
That's right.
That's the big one.
Biggest impact.
That's right.
As time goes on, so I don't even want to say this is the one that
you did.
That
I
did.
Should be one that
sure
ignites the passion to do more.
Oh no, I was going there. I just wanted to put that in record that I am not belittling or everything I believe I've done, even if I'm talking to one person about climate change, you think I'm talking to the whole world. And it's with the same passion I talk to one person, I talk to 50 people, I talk to 100 and 1,000 basically. So for me, I don't. But then I think one of my greatest achievements is my book.
Wow.
Yeah. Thank you. I wake up every day, I'm like, girl, I did do this thing. Like, is it like pinch me? Am I sleeping? Because I know that for generations and generations to come, it's going to be impactful. And I can proudly say that's like the first faith-based environmental sustainability book coming out of Africa.
Amazing.
I've searched, like using Bible principles, talk about waste management, circular economy. I've looked for, I might be wrong, but coming out of Africa, I know this is the first.
Amazing.
Yeah, so it's something that I know that I like.
This is great.
Please call us to your book launch, please.
Sure, I will.
Call us to your book launch, please. Thank you.
It's actually amazing how when thoughts come to our minds, and some people actually have this thought and they feel like, I don't think it's something that can actually pass through, but see you now doing something, and that will really, it's already taking you places and will take you more, you know. So I think this is a call. These women are really even inspiring me. I'm actually anchoring this show, but right now I feel like, there's a lot to be done. Yeah. So I really celebrate you for this aspect. Now, I want to ask us, as women, are there challenges we actually face in leading climate action, and how do you think this should be addressed? Rifkatu, do you think there are challenges women actually face? Are there any sort of discrimination? Are there any sort of, you're a woman, that's why you should not really be here? It's climate action, and though you're a woman, but those kind of conversations, are there actually there, and how do you think they
times
should be?
I just feel like, when they say gender equality, just bring one woman. Let it not just be like it's just men. Bring in one woman. That's when they start to look for women. And that's the truth. I've had to be in rooms where people just call you up and say, oh, this is what I do, and I believe that, and then, okay, we want to strike a gender balance. I'm like,
You're called because
we want to balance the equation.
Want to balance the equation. Like, let it not just be only men that are going.
When they look at arithmetic signature, you are the equal sign.
I'm telling you. So you even go for such engagements, and then the people will be like, oh, let's hear from the only lady. So it's because you are the only lady in the entourage. That's why you are being called upon.
If it was not because of the gender bias,
nobody will.
Oh my God.
Just they go out from their ticket. But so, truthfully, in Africa, we know that no matter how much we talk, that gender issue is somewhere, is hidden somewhere, just somewhere. And then, but then I will say that we are, at least for them to even think about bringing you in to balance it, we are making headway. At all, 9 baht. That's how we
balancing the ship.
Yeah, we are balancing it. So, yeah, sure. I will let you can pick it
In
up.
addition to what she said, in a nutshell, it's just limited access to education and training. Which is what it is. You are being called to balance the equation when there are a lot more women doing it. We may have limited opportunities to acquire the skills and knowledge necessary to participate in climate decision making. The world knows that we are trying, we are learning, we are moving, we are evolving. You don't have to tell us you are bringing us to balance. We are not there to balance.
That's right.
We're not asking for, there's something
Okay,
that
let
nobody
me chip in. Did you see the picture from COP? The last one. Do you understand? Okay, last week we were at the UN house.
The last COP,
the executive secretary was in Nigeria and all of that. So yeah, we had to bring it up, like the gender.
The gender, it's there in our face.
It's there. It's telling
there.
us.
Have you seen
the picture was there. We're looking for women.
Have you seen the COP picture?
You need to share with me.
Please look for it. We were looking for the woman in the picture.
We're looking. What's happening?
And there are decision makings that we feel. We're not saying men don't make decisions that affect women. They know how to make the decisions, but there are some decisions that bring the women in. Let us help you profile the solutions.
But I will wait.
Now
how will
look
you
at
make
this.
A
Now look at
for
this.
A woman when you are not.
Okay, now I was getting there.
Okay.
Someone, a couple in my office met me last week and said, "Ma, we're joking about certain things. This whole Natasha issue brought it up and all that. Let's not enter into that one right now. It's not a climate issue." And then she said, "Ma, why is it that I attended the program and it was during Valentine period and they were sharing pads? No, they were sharing condoms. Madam, how much is pad in the market now?" I was looking at her. And she goes, "Madam, I know for a while you have been doing environmental project programs, humanitarian, you share pads, you go to IDP camps, you go to secondary schools, rural communities, you share pads to girls. Ma, when last were you able to buy the number you used to buy before? And take." I could not answer her. But she's like, they were sharing condom. So these are the policies we're talking about. These are the decision makings we're talking about. Every day, certain things that affect women are increasing. How much is pad now in the market? During the lockdown, I did a project I called End Period Poverty Project. Then I was volunteering with Skills Africa Network. And then we're doing buy one and buy for me, buy for her. So during that whole period of the lockdown, when it was lifted, a lot of these people in these communities lacked these amenities. And a lot of girls who had vaginal infections because they were using rags, nylons, and all sorts of things I cannot even mention on the air right now. But we know these things. We are women. And they expect the world, they expect Africa, they expect countries like us to live up to 2030. 2030 is how many years from now? It's 2025. 2020 of tomorrow.
tomorrow, 2:30 tomorrow.
So there are so many things affecting.
Yeah.
And you go to those communities, they finish using these things, they discard them. It's still coming down to the climate and the environmental problem we are talking about.
Yeah.
And so why would women not be carried along?
Why would women not be carried along?
That's it. Oh my God. I really feel you guys are really doing justice to this issue before us. If you're just listening to us, this is People's 105.5 FM, and we are discussing women leading the change, accelerating climate action for a sustainable future. And I'm opening the phone lines now. You want to make your contributions. You want to celebrate these women who are actually leading the charge towards climate action. You can actually call in, or you want to make your contributions from the conversations we've been having. The number to call is 0911 112 1055. I take that again, 0911 112 1055, or you can also call on 0911 222 1055. We're discussing women leading the charge, accelerating climate action for a sustainable future. All right. I think we need to go on a break right now. When we come back, we'll continue this conversation towards climate action.
To care. Indeed, it's time to care about our planet and the earth we all share. Climate Fact File has the key to build a world that is completely green and free. Climate Fact File has taken a stand to learn the truth, protect the land, deal with the rising seas, ensuring cleaner skies, clean energy, and turning darkness into light. Climate Fact File is your one-stop shop for everything climate, including environment, waste and waste disposal, indiscriminate use of plastics, activities of oil and gas companies, gas emission, pollution, land management, rising sea levels, bush burning, flooding, desertification, and more. This is a call to action, as every voice matters to save the earth. It's in your hands and it's in my hands. Climate Fact File is for a brighter, greener, and a better future. Let's keep it alive. Join me, Ife Onyekwere, every Wednesday from 11 a.m. on People's 105.5 FM. Climate Fact File remains our present reality. People's 105.5 FM is all about you.
You're listening to Climate Fact File here on People's 105.5 FM, and we are discussing women leading the charge, accelerating climate action for a sustainable future. And my amazing guests are actually, doing justice to the topic before us. Before we went on that break, we were having conversations around, women being, in leadership positions when it comes to climate advocacy and even policy making. How can we really get here? Now, I want to ask us, okay, before I do this, if you're listening to us, you can actually join the conversation. The number to call in is 0911 222 1055. You want to celebrate that woman that is doing amazing things around climate action, or you want to join the conversation, you have an input. I think men should not feel threatened by this. It's not. We're not saying you should not make decisions. We're just saying women should, be heard more. More than the way they're being heard right now. And when it comes to climate action, So you can also feel free to actually join the conversation. The number to call is 0911 222 1055, or you can call us on 0911 112 1055. So Uzochukwu, how do you think more opportunities can be created for women to take leadership roles in climate advocacy and policy making?
How do you think?
Yes.
How do you think women can be,
can actually be involved? How can more opportunities be created for women to take leadership roles in climate advocacy? Because we just talked about the challenges of, you're a woman, just come and fill in, what should we be doing from the scratch to ensure that women are actually part of this heads on?
Create the opportunity yourself.
I didn't see that coming. Create the opportunity yourself. That's amazing.
For me, it's short and simple. You can keep talking about them not allowing you to do this, don't do that, don't do this. Educate yourself. It's all in the mindset.
And now that we
educate yourself, push yourself. The world is global now. There are a lot of courses you can go and read and learn. Read up on the policies that you feel are not being, there are policies that are there. They are not working. Read up on the policies first. Know them. Know why they are not working. Proper solutions. Go and take that course. It's not going to be easy, but save. Push yourself. She wrote a book now. Come on. All hands are not equal. We know that. Yeah. But me, I feel the best way you can do that, build the table. Put the chairs. Call people to come and sit with you.
Exactly. Because I was going to ask her that, what if you're doing all this, you're getting all the knowledge, and then still nobody gives you a place on the table. Build your table. And invite them. So
I keep saying partnership for the goals.
Yeah, partnership for the
goals. I have done that has led to this very moment I am right now is true partnership.
Exactly.
Even if you read everything, you're not an island. You cannot do everything by yourself. And the more you partner with people, guess what? You're building more knowledge. You're growing. And you find yourself even calling younger people, the generation below you, and you're training them and you are giving back.
Mentoring them.
You're mentoring them. Who knows? One of the girls you train is going to grow up tomorrow and become the Environmental Protection Board Director General or a commissioner for policies or something.
Exactly.
It's let alone for you to complain. Yes, it's a natural thing, but after the complaint, what next?
That's right.
Yeah, to add to that, so when I finished writing the book, I was like, let me just put this thing online, just send the link, we'll just buy it and read it and all of that. I spoke with her, I was like, no, you don't even know what you have written. We have to launch this book. So having the right kind of people to even spoil you, the Bible will say, let's teach each other how to spoil each other to love and good works. And I spoke to her, he was like, no, we are going to launch it. Then I'm like, let's even do a conference now. We're not just launching a book. We are doing a conference. So we are creating a table and we are calling interdenominational pastors to come around that table. Let's talk. Why are we not even bringing these conversations to our pulpit? What is happening? Do we even know that we are supposed to be stewards of the earth? Come on. Do you know? It's when you know something, then you do something about it.
Exactly.
But if you don't even know something, what will you do? So we are bringing them to say, do you even know? So if you know, are you telling your congregation that we have a responsibility to the earth? So come, let's do a conference. So we are doing a faith environmental sustainability conference. Bringing them, having a panel with interdenominational leaders, policy leaders, actors in the space, experts and all of that. Let's talk. So the experts will educate them because I think that education gap is even there and awareness.
Yes, it is there.
It is there.
It is there.
It's until you know something you can come and say, see how Awele is breaking down statistics for us, going here, there. It's not easy. So if you know, but somebody can be willing to even teach you and you're not interested.
Exactly.
That's another thing.
But we are
that's why I said it's in the mindset.
Exactly. So we are bringing the faith angle because as long as something is in the Bible and you say you are a Christian, God will hold it. Is accountable. Say, if you know what to do and you refuse to do it, to you it is a sin. So if we tell you that this is what the Bible says about taking care of the environment and you refuse to do it, we started up from there.
He gave us this earth clean.
Clean, neat, beautiful,
fresh, blessed with what? Abundant resources.
But unfortunately you get to some places and
we keep taking, we don't give back. Mother Nature, I'm sure when she looks at us, she's like, my children, my children, that heart suckled from that mother.
You know, right? No, and I think you mentioned mindset. I think this is where a lot needs to be addressed. because if we have this mindset of we keep taking, I'm not sure even if we get to disseminate this, we get to tell people about it, and that mindset is not corrected, do you think we can go far? I'm not sure we can really do much if that mindset is not.
We need a reorientation.
I look forward to the day I will see big giant billboards in Abuja. Not billboards of, I'm not going to call the company's name, of course, but not billboards of telling me I should buy soap and cream to whiten my children's body.
Right?
I don't understand what that is. Okay, so after they whiten their body, what next? The container, you and your family will throw it on the road. I look forward to see billboards where they are telling us about how we can recycle. I look forward to see billboards on how they can talk about keep Abuja clean, keep your environment clean. Mama Puts, we know this is your economic means of livelihood, but when you finish what you're doing, keep your environment clean. Tell your customers when they finish buying food from you, the container, if they are not going to eat it somewhere, recycle, give them a bin. You can reuse that container in your business.
Exactly. So like I was telling somebody yesterday, I look forward to, we're always seeing churches doing medical outreach, but last the Bible says you put your hands on the sick and they will recover. That's our mandate, not to be giving drugs. I don't have any problem with medical outreaches. I have been involved in a lot of it, but we are talking about putting that same energy. Let's see churches organizing tree planting campaigns. Let's see churches organizing cleanup activities.
Exactly.
Let's see churches doing. I was very glad when I saw Elevation Church with this lady Oshodi, Tilaya Oshodi,
okay,
secular economy, to Lagos State. They did a project. I was like, these are the things I want to be seeing. Let churches come to the Ministry of Environment and say, "Oh, nice, we want to." So when I was this my conference, I went to the CAN office because we are inviting the CAN president, Christian Association of Nigeria, to be part of that conversation. Funny enough, I saw the SDG roll-up banners in the office. I was like, you people even know about this
SDGs. What are you doing about this?
That was what I told myself. Let's see all of these things coming out from our worship centers. Do you know how many churches we have in Abuja? Imagine that 10% of those churches are putting their voice and amplifying
it and talking to all the parishioners. Everybody, please keep your environment clean. Because we are also told cleanliness is what?
Next to godliness. Amazing. So we actually went on the street to hear what people had to say about, women. What message do you have for women leading climate action? And we got a couple of messages from people on the street. I think we need to hear them and react to it. But before we listen to them, you're part of these women, so you can be doing the ow in your heart.
We just we're here for all the women. We're here for all the and that's on period.
All right, so let's take it.
Climate action impacts you are making. I'm very proud of you, and also I would love to say there is a need for collaboration. There is a need to find other women who are interested in this climate action space and find them, educate them, support them so that we can all rise as a woman and make bigger impacts.
I would say you should keep pushing boundaries and your voice matters a lot. We all know you are the backbone of climate resilience, and your efforts today, they are creating a better tomorrow. So keep focused and stay strong.
Climate work is urgent, but burnout helps no one. You should rest, recharge, and keep going. Small actions lead to big change. Even your work impacts just one community. It makes a difference.
To the amazing women who are leading the fight against climate change, I want to tell you all that you all are amazing and you are incredible. And your dedication and passion towards this movement, inspiring a global movement. And I want you to remember that every step that you take and every barrier that you break is more than you just saving the planet. It is you making history and also creating a sustainable world where everyone can live in. And I want you to remember that even though the journey gets tough, because surely it certainly gets tough at some point, especially when you're trying to fight for a change, because change is not attained easily. I want you to tell you that you should not give up, and every step that you take actually does count and it matters. And we see you. I'm also going to stand by and also cheer you on. And I want you to remember that you should keep challenging those barriers and breaking those systems, because your leadership is actually what we need in creating sustainable environments and sustainable world. So don't give up and keep demanding for those changes.
I like when someone said small action leads to big change. I actually wrote it down. Like I found the person was talking to me.
So pour your heart out. For giving the opportunity to actually pour your heart. So it's actually amazing that doing this survey on the streets, and then you hear people. At first, I think we started this program sometime last year. It was really very strange to some people, where you go out and then you talk about climate change and they're wondering, what are you talking about? But I think the progress it's getting better. Yeah. People can relate more than they used to. So telling them what message do you have for women leading action, and what message do you have for women leading action? And they're like, oh my, I think they are doing amazing, and they begin to point out some keywords that are really very relatable to the climate space. It's something that I would really commend. Yeah. So, and I want to ask you too, in your journeys, because partnership, that's goal 17, it's very key. Have you had women really support you? You mentioned Uzochukwu really supported your cause towards your book launch and all like that. Aside, have you had women really come close to say, oh, this you're doing, let's amplify what you're doing and all like that? Have there been positive response from women around you? Because it's important that as we're celebrating women outside too should know that we also need them, for progress as regards climate action.
Yes. You have.
I get calls. Mention their names actually.
Yeah, I get calls and someone is like, "Oh, this person mentioned you. You're doing this," and amazingly, a lot of women have. They have called my names in rooms where I'm not there, and I'm very grateful for that. Nice. And then for my team, even for the team that is working on my book launch, I think I have like 70% women. And all of that.
That's amazing.
I've gotten calls
women
and
supporting women.
Like when I went on some courtesy visits, I'm like, I'll drop anything. I'll be there. I will. People call. What do you want me to do? What do you need me to do? And it's been beautiful. It's been amazing. So somebody you'll just wake up to a message saying, "Oh, I see your work. You're doing well. You're doing good," and it's encouraging. It's really encouraging.
Great. On your part, also, have you had women really come close to you to encourage you on your work, especially for the IDP camp work and all you're doing?
Yes. Yes. I can hit my hand on my full chest and say yes. How's the 70%? Mine is 95.5%. Oh, nice. You say I can mention names, right? So let me shout out to Ebaide, Moyo, Monisola, Chidera, Mems, Nimi. The list is endless. If you didn't hear your name and you're listening to me, I'm just remembering your name from the top of my head.
We have very plenty names.
Out of excitement, I'm telling you. But it's been amazing. I have a friend, Ifenla, who just started a ship project right now, and I was even on board the session as a guest speaker this Saturday, which was International Women's Day. I spoke to the fellows, and Ifenla is doing an amazing job in terms of her NGO, Arc and Rainbow, and all the work that she's doing. So it is amazing. It's amazing having women support you, even the ones that don't even know anything about climate or environment. They come on board and they're like, "Oh, I saw what you were doing, or I saw your WhatsApp status, or like she said, your name was mentioned somewhere. Amazing. That you needed funds to do something. How is this project going? It's going well. Okay, see me in the office, and then I will support this project the best way I can, or I will send someone to come and see what you're doing." And it's just been amazing, and people are actually learning from it, like, oh, this is what the whole climate is: climate finance, environmental sustainability, and the rest of it. So amazing. It's amazing having support. And then Ify, you too. is our very big support right now. Like,
amplifying our voice.
you know.
That's right. Thank you. All right. We've actually gone so far. I'm enjoying this conversation. It feels like we should go, up to 1 p.m. But unfortunately,
we can. But
yeah. So I wanted to give in one word. How would you encourage that young girl listening who might want to take a journey towards this step of doing something around climate action? Tell them something. What would that word be for them? Yes, anyone.
Okay. Well, I will ask you to look inwards first. There's a lot you can do in the climate space, but are you Moses or are you Aaron? Are you Moses or are you Aaron? I don't have an NGO.
You might not lead, but you can follow.
I always ask myself. People always ask me why I don't have an NGO, and that question was always at the back of my head: Moses or Aaron. So if you want to start something, you want to start on a journey, ask yourself, what do you want to contribute to that existing? It's like you're doing a thesis. There's already the literature there already, but you're adding knowledge to it. So just ask yourself, how do you want to contribute to it?
All right. Rivka, a last word for that young girl there listening to you.
Keep pushing. Keep learning. Keep growing.
Nice.
Great. I think I actually got that too. I need to keep learning and keep growing.
Keep growing, keep learning.
Amazing. So, unfortunately, we have to call it a wrap for today's edition of Climate Fact File. And honestly, it was great having you both on the program today. I was going to bring in 3 people, so it would not even have done so, but interestingly, I think it was great having both of you for the show today, and I really want to thank my producer here with me, Mr. Akpan Aisen. Thank you so much, and also to the executive producer of the show, Charles Kalu. Thank you so much. Remember, climate change is not just a future challenge; it's a present reality, and each one of us has a role to play in shaping a more sustainable future. Remember, small actions today lead to big changes tomorrow. Yes. Until next time, join me for Climate Fact File next week on People's 105.5 FM Abuja. I am Ife Onyekwere. Bye.